Mars, Olympus, Monge Ridge, United Earth Mining Colony E1 to the sky over Mars was dark red, lit only by the distant sun and the blinking lights of survey drones. Olympus Mons, the tallest mountain in the solar system, stood like a sleeping giant. At its base, a group of scientists and miners worked deep beneath the surface, digging into the crust for rare minerals. It was supposed to be a normal day until the ground started humming. Did anyone else feel that? Asked Dr. Alina Voss, glancing at the monitors. Her voice was tight, uneasy. It's probably just plate movement, said Commander Ray. We've had minor quakes before. This wasn't a quake. The first glitch down in Subtunnel 9, mining drone number 42 stopped moving. Its camera blinked off. Then it came back online, but it wasn't in the tunnel anymore. It was inside a massive, dark chamber. Carved walls surrounded it. Smooth black stone. Symbols. None of them Martian. The drone didn't move again. Back. At the control station, tech operator June shouted, "Drone 42 just disappeared. And it's transmitting something. A low-frequency signal." "What signal?" asked Dr. Voss, stepping closer. Jen played the sound. It was a slow pulse, deep and steady, like a heartbeat. But hidden in the rhythm were patterns. Words. A computer translated them. One word appeared on the screen. Return. Investigation team sent a team of 5 scientists and 3 armed security officers descended into the tunnel where the drone vanished. The walls grew colder the deeper they went. The rock became too smooth. It's perfect. It's artificial, whispered Dr. Voss. This wasn't made by nature. They reached the final tunnel. Then the floor gave way. The team fell but didn't hit rock. Instead, they landed on a flat metal surface covered in dust. When their lights turned on, the chamber lit up around them. On its own, hundreds of dark, towering pillars stood in rows, each glowing faintly with gold lines. Strange machines, long dead, lined the walls. Then something stirred. In the center of the chamber stood a tall obelisk, pitch black with gold veins. It pulsed once, and it spoke not aloud, but inside their minds. Human pattern detected. Lineage confirmed. Memory vault unlocked. A vault of forgotten knowledge. The obelisk projected a hologram. A star map filled the air, millions of stars, planets, and paths. But most shocking were the highlighted systems. They weren't alien systems. They were human. One by one, the stars lit up and faded. A voice, cold and ancient, spoke. We were once many, builders of light, masters of the gate paths, until the enemy came. We sealed the way. We slept. But now the children return. Commander Ray stepped forward. This must be some kind of ancient alien AI, right? Dr. Voss shook her head. Now look at the star systems. This isn't alien. She pointed to the base of the obelisk. A symbol was carved into the metal. It was the double helix of human DNA. Earth reacts within 24 hours. The team returned to orbit with video evidence, scans, and the recovered drone. The signal continued to pulse, now broadcasting on frequencies Earth hadn't used in centuries. When the data reached Earth Command, silence fell across the boardroom. This must be a hoax, said Admiral Harlan. It's not, replied Dr. Voss through the secure link. Earliest colonies. It's over 300,000 years old, and the signalets in an ancient form of Sumerian. One word had scientists, linguists, and intelligence leaders frozen. We were first. The galaxy watches unknown to Earth, dozens of long-range listening posts across the galaxy, picked up the same signal. In the Krellin Dominion, the War Council stared at the decoded message. Humans, ... were first. Scoffed High Strategist Jal. Impossible. They barely left their home system a century ago. The science commander disagreed. This signal comes from beneath Olympus Mons, and it matches the energy signatures of the old builders. The room fell silent. The old builders were a legend across the galaxy. A race of beings so advanced they could move stars and create weapons that shaped the cosmos. Their cities had long been buried, their origin unknown. until now, something. Unlocks back on Mars. The obelisk pulsed again. Its voice returned. Primary archive located. Earth core vault. Signal rerouted. Across the solar system, deep beneath the Pacific Ocean on Earth, ancient sensors blinked to life for the first time in eons. In the dark ocean, something answered. Final scene cliffhanger. Commander Ray sat at the observation window of the Mars base, staring at Olympus Mons. "We always thought we were the last ones to join the stars," she said. Dr. Voss stood beside her, still pale from what they'd seen. "What if we're not the last?" He turned to her. "You think we were the first?" She didn't answer. Outside the window, Olympus Mons shivered. Just a little, then deep inside its base, a light turned on. Pacific Ocean, Mariana Trench. Deep core survey base, Delta 3 darkness, silence. Miles below the ocean's surface, only one thing moved, the cold lights of survey base Delta 3. The deepest human outpost on Earth, it was built to study geothermal vents, to measure plate movement, to monitor deep tremors. But that morning, the ocean floor shook in a way it never had before. Unnatural tremors, another spike. Second one this week. Operator Mira slammed the alert button. Her hands trembled as the seismograph's lines jumped again, wild, jagged, unnatural. "These tremors are too deep. Something's moving beneath the crust," she whispered. A moment later, the sensors picked up a sound. It wasn't rock cracking. It wasn't a tectonic shift. It was a pulse, just. Like the signal from Mars, a lost submersible on autonomous submarine DSV Echo for ascent to investigate. It dove into the blackness of the trench, armed with drills, scanners, and cameras. 30 minutes in, its signal cut out. When command finally got video back, it showed twisted, melted metal. The sub had been torn open. But near the wreckage, something was carved into the ocean floor. Myra enhanced the image. A word, ancient but familiar. Awakening, hidden door beneath Eartha. Second team, this time with human crew, was dispatched. They followed the Echo Forest Trail to a strange section of trench wall. It wasn't natural. It was smooth, symmetrical, covered in symbols. Then something triggered it. The wall cracked. It's a massive stone door, circular and sealed for hundreds of thousands of years, began to open just a few feet. From the gap, a blue glow poured out. The team's suits buzzed with static. Their HUDs late. Inside was nothing but darkness. And then a voice, ancient and heavy, echoed through their minds. "Vault access granted. Bam. Human pattern confirmed. Welcome back, Prime Lineage." Global reaction begins. Earth Command was stunned. Two ancient structures, one on Mars, one on Earth, both acknowledging humans as descendants of something far older, within hours. Every major world government went into lockdown. The media was told it was just tectonic activity. But whispers spread, and someone leaked the Mars obelisk data. Across the net, people began asking dangerous questions. Did humanity have a past before recorded history? Were the myths about? Atlantis and Lemuria, fragments of truth. Were we... ... Not the children of the stars, but the parents. Alien powers respond on the distant moon of Zeltar. In the halls of the Velar Senate, panic grew. The Velar were one of the galaxy's oldest known civilizations until now. Their lead xenohistorians stared at the Earth signal, hands shaking. It's the old signal, the one from the sealed records, the same frequency used by the ones we called ... the originators. "But they're just a myth," growled General Thazek. The historian's voice was cold. Not anymore. And they were not alien. They were human. The star map unlocks back on Mars. The obelisk activated again. This time it displayed a much larger hologram, a massive galaxy-wide map. Thousands of red dots lit up each one. A hidden human outpost. Some were ruins. Some were sleeping vaults. Some ... were still active. One dot blinked brighter than all the rest. It was on Earth. deep under the Pacific. EIDOL. Prime's lost access key. Race against time now, Earth. Wasn't just reacting. It was preparing. Deep-sea teams, military scientists, private corporations raced to unlock the Earth vault fully before alien powers arrived to interfere. Meanwhile, deep inside the vault, machines hummed for the first time in over 300,000 years. A glowing platform rose from the floor, and a small cube emerged, humming. The cube spoke aloud. "If you hear this, our time is returning. The gates will open, and the first enemy may follow." Final scene cliffhanger DR. Alina Voss stood on a submarine platform, staring at the vault entrance through her visor. Her voice came through her radio. "This is not just archaeology. This is ... inheritance." Commander Ray, watching from Mars base, replied, "Let's hope we still deserve it." Then the vault door opened fully. The light inside was blinding. Location: the Obsidian Veil, Uncharted Nebula, Sector 9, Gamane. The far reaches of space. Beyond explored systems lies the Obsidian Veil Nebula, so dense with black dust and static that even light struggles to escape. No one dared enter it until now. The Mars obelisk had revealed coordinates. 1. Far from known trade routes blinked on the ancient star map, a blinking beacon lost in darkness. The location of an Ark-class memory ship. Humanity had sent a recon vessel, the Seraph's Eye. What they found would change everything. First contact with the forgotten Seraphs, I dropped out of FTL near the Black Nebula. The crew stared at the massive object floating dead ahead, part starship, part tomb. It was miles long, with cracked hull plates and faded markings. The ship's body shimmered with gold filigree, glowing faintly through the darkness. No power. No transmissions. It's just silence. Until it saw them. Children of the lost line as the Seraph's shuttle approached. The dead ship's systems flickered back to life. A blue energy field scanned the humans on board. Then, a deep voice filled the shuttle. Lineage confirmed. "Welcome, children of the lost line. Memory archive unlocked." Lights surged down the hull of the ancient ship. Doors opened, docking tunnel extended, even though no one had touched. A control dot Commander Raynow, leading the recovery mission, breathed heavily. "This ship has been waiting for us." Inside the memory ship, the air inside was breathable. Gravity stable, as if someone had just left moments ago. The walls were smooth obsidian, embedded with gold light veins. Machines floated silently. Holograms flickered to life as the crew walked. Then, in the central chamber, they found it. A vault filled with memory crystals. Each one held voices, memories of humans long dead. The ship's AI appeared as a hologram, a tall woman in white robes, with glowing eyes of silver. "I am Alaris, keeper of the last memory. Hold the truth of your people. The truth reveal." Alaris played the first crystal. A galaxy filled with human cities, star forges, and Dyson rings unfolded around them. Humans once ruled millions. Of systems, they had mastered wormholes, moved stars, created peaceful protectorates for young species. Then, ... the silence came. A dark enemy, beyond form, beyond thought. It consumed stars, wiped out fleets without trace. The first humans called it the Maw Between. In desperation, they sealed themselves away. Not to hide, but to let the galaxy forget them. To give life a second chance. They became myths, ghosts. But now you, our descendants, have returned. The cycle begins again. Alien forces intercept back near the nebula edge. A Valari war scout arrived. It had followed the human ship via leaked coordinates. Inside their command deck, the Valari captain's face twisted in fear as he saw the ancient vessel. "That's impossible," he hissed. "It matches the old records. The originator's craft." His science officer muttered, "That ship is human." They really were the first. The captain sent one word back to the Dominion. Confirmed. The coordinates to Eidolon Prime inside the memory ship's archive. The final crystal revealed the location of the lost human homeworld, Eidolon Prime. Not Earth, Earth was merely a seed world, created to rebuild slowly. Eidolon Prime was the capital of the first human empire. It had been hidden in a cloaked region of space, invisible to modern sensors. A final message played. If Eidolon awakens, the galaxy must remember, or it will burn again. Commander Ray stared at the map. We have to go there, before anyone else does. Final scene cliffhanger as the Seraphs. I turned away from the memory ship, the ancient vessel powered. Down once more, drifting silently into the dark. But behind them, the Valari scout remained hidden. It began transmitting. Within hours, alien fleets across the galaxy would know the truth. Humanity had returned. Deep space coordinates, unknown cloaked region, codenamed the Silence Field. The stars flickered like dying candles. No charts, no signals, no sound. This was a part of the galaxy untouched by science or scanners of voidware. Even ancient empires refused to go. But the memory ship had given coordinates. And now, humanity had found it. What lay in the center of the darkness was not a black hole. It was a world. First view of Eidolon Prima's, the Seraph's eye dropped from FTL. Its crew gasped. Before them floated Eidolon Prima, massive Earth-like. World surrounded by colossal metallic rings, half-faded in orbit. Dozens of titanic stations, dead for eons, still circled the planet like ancient guardians. Clouds drifted peacefully. Oceans glimmered under distant starlight. Cities untouched for millenniars, like mountains from the surface. It wasn't a ruin. It was preserved. Waiting, the orbital ring reactivized dimly. One of the orbital rings lit up with a golden pulse. The system scanned the Seraph's eye. A calm, ancient voice filled the ship's speakers. Airblood confirmed. Eidolon defense grid unlocking. Welcome home, line of origin. Across the orbital ring, ancient machines surged to life. Massive. Defense platforms extended. Gravity fields realigned. An elevator beam shot out, connecting the ship directly to the planet's surface. Ray turned to Dr. Voss. It knew us. She nodded. It's been waiting for us. Since before we were born. Landing on a sleeping empire, the crew stepped out into a city of stone and crystal, its buildings taller than mountains, glowing faintly with energy. Everything was still, silent. Then, lights clicked on one by one as the humans walked through the streets. Gardens, buildings, even libraries reawakened. Soft chimes echoed. Trees bloomed with strange fruit. Drones, long dormant, floated from walls and gently scanned the visitors. The main road led to a pyramid-like structure, Eidolon's core temple. A single door opened. Inside stood a chair of light, facing a towering holographic mural. The mural showed humanity building galaxies, shaping suns, then showed a dark void swallowing entire systems at the center of the mural. The words, "We sealed ourselves to protect you." The living AI steward day figure appeared. Not quite human, not quite machine. Tall, robed in flowing white, with eyes like dying stars. I am Kareth, steward of Eidolon. For 310,221 years, I have waited. Kareth explained everything. Eidolon had been the capital of the first human empire and empire. That ruled when most modern civilizations were still primitive. But when the maw between appeared, a galaxy-consuming void, humanity had no choice but to retreat. They sealed Eidolon, hid Earth, wiped records. Your kind was not meant to remember until the signal returned. Now, the seal breaks. Warning from the past. Kareth's eyes dimmed. If you are here, then the maw stirs again. You must awaken the celestial engine before it's too late. The crew asked, "What is the celestial engine?" Kareth replied simply, "The only thing that ever stopped it." But the key to activating the celestial engine had been split across 7 vaults, each hidden across the stars. Some were lost. Some had already been found by others. Aliens who would not understand what they were waking up. Across the stars, the reaction begins in the Krellin Dominion. A military leader watched a live feed of Idalin activating. This changes everything. They are not newcomers. They are the architects. In the Valari Senate, panic spread. Religious leaders wept. The myths are real. We were never first. On Earth, riots broke out as leaked data from Eidolon was posted online. The truth couldn't be hidden anymore. "We're not the children of the galaxy," shouted one newscaster. "We're the ancestors."
Right.
Final scene cliffhanger in Eidolon's heart chamber. A glowing console lit up, projected one final image. A dark fleet moving in deep space. Organic, silent, consuming a star. The maw between had returned, and it was listening again. Kareth turned slowly. "If we do not awaken what lies beneath the stars, all will end." The lights flickered across the diplomatic chamber as three of the most powerful alien species in the galaxy argued in frantic voices. The Krellin Dominion wanted to silence humanity. The Valari Senate demanded access to Eidolon, the Athari. Spiral, normally silent, warned everyone. "If Eidolon has awakened, then so has the maw." A holoscreen showed the footage leaked from Earth and Mars, the obelisk. The deep sea vault and Eidolon Prime glowing like a god reborn. None of them could deny it now. Humanity had not just returned. Humanity had ruled before them all. Earth's uneasy position on Earth, chaos spread. News anchors asked if humans were truly from Earth. Theories exploded. Atlantis, Lemuria, the Garden of Eden, now seen as fragments of forgotten truth. In space, the UN Starfleet entered emergency posture. They didn't know if aliens would attack or beg for help. At a secret military briefing, Admiral Reyes stood before a flickering map of the galaxy. They thought we were the last. Now they know we were the first, and some of them are terrified of what we might become. The emergency summit begins. Invitations were sent. Not as equals, but as heirs to a forgotten empire, on Eidolon Prime. Inside the Grand Hall of Memory, humans hosted the first interspecies diplomatic meeting. In 300,000 years, tensions ran high. Krellin General Vesric snarled, "You buried your weapons beneath stars. You hid your strength? That's not peace. It's a trap." Dr. Voss calmly replied, "We buried our weapons to protect life, not rule it. You found the galaxy after us. We gave you space to grow." Valari Priestess Soleil whispered, "Then, why does the void tremble again?" Kareth's revelation. The ancient AI Kareth appeared before the council. The maw between has stirred. It feeds on chaos, fear, entropy. It consumed our first empire in silence.
Now it returns.
He displayed a hologram of destroyed systems, stars dimmed, planets hollowed. Then, rotating image, the celestial engine, a structure larger than a moon, built by first humans at the height of their power. Only it halted them all last time. But it cannot be reactivated by force. Must be willed into life by a bearer of the line of origin. A human. Fear breeds division instead of unity. The revelation caused panic. The Krellins demanded control of the weapon. The Valari wanted it sealed. Others called for Earth to surrender all ancient tech. Commander Ray stood, his voice sharp. "You mock us when we are weak. You fear us now that we remember. But we didn't break the galaxy. We tried to save it. And we will again." Treaty signed in shadows at last. A fragile agreement was made. Humanity would search for the remaining vault keys. Eidolon would share select knowledge but not weapons. In return, alien fleets would not attack. For now it was called the Treaty of Fear Not, signed out of friendship, out of necessity. The galactic powers feared two things: the Maw's return, what humanity might become once the truth was fully unlocked. Final scene cliffhanger in deep space. At an ancient asteroid fortress, an alien smuggler discovered a broken vault. Inside, a massive sarcophagus in glowing glyphs. He touched. 1. A humanoid form inside opened its eyes. "Lineage confirmed," it said. "Celestial engine key unlocked." Back on Eidolon, Kareth turned sharply. "One key has awakened. 6 remain. Others now hunt them too." Across the galaxy, forgotten worlds began to stir. On the frozen moon of Halric 7, a mining colony recorded an ancient frequency pulsing from deep under the ice. On the gas giant Draven 3, an unmanned probe passed through a storm and briefly caught an impossible image. A colossal ring-shaped construct wrapped around the planet's core, faintly glowing with golden light, and on an uncharted rogue asteroid, drifting between galaxies. A single word suddenly echoed through the communication bands of a dozen species. Return. No one knew where the signal came from, but humanity did. The vault keys were waking. Eidolon analyzes the pulse in the throne room of Eidolon Prime. Kareth stood over the glowing galactic star map. Red pulses appeared like blood spreading through veins, each one marking a vault. Key's reactivation site. The celestial engine recognizes the fragments. 6 remain. They call to the lineage. Commander Ray turned to Dr. Voss. They're calling us, or calling the thing that hunts us. She replied, the race begins. Launched 3 missions to recover the vault keys. Mission Echo 1. To the ruins of Varda's Halo, a shattered artificial planet around a dying star. Ghost Spear to a moon locked in a time bubble, where days pass in seconds. Mission Deep Light to an underwater world where an ancient human structure sleeps. Beneath miles of toxic ocean, each team carried a single directive. Find the keys before the Maw does. First contact with a Guardian AI mission, Echo 1. Led by Captain Soraya Lin, arrived at Varda's Halo. The ruins of a world city floated in a spiral, frozen in zero gravity. In the center, a golden sphere, protected by a floating construct that resembled a human. But wasn't. Its voice echoed across the comms. This key requires proof of memory. Only the true children of Eidolon may take it. Captain Lin stepped forward. The AI touched her mind and saw her memories. Childhood, war, loss, curiosity. The construct nodded. You remember? Take it? As they took the key, the team looked. Back and the construct dissolved into stardust. The Maw moves in the void between systems. A rift opened. The Maw between, no longer sleeping, sent its scouts forward. They were not ships. They were living shadows, crawling silently across space, seeking signals of REACTI Viatines. One such creature latched onto a Valari scout vessel investigating. A vault site. It did not kill. It learned. Then it whispered back across. The stars. They are waking. Alien empires react differently. Not all species were united. Krellin Dominion began secretly seizing old human ruins. The Etheri Spiral opened their archives and offered help. The Valari split in 2, half wanting peace, half preparing for war, on Earth. Whispers of ancient bloodlines began spreading. People with strange dreams, unnatural instincts, or memories of stars they'd never seen. Dr. Voss suspected the truth. It's not just about unlocking old tech. It's genetic. We were designed to remember when the time was right. Final scene cliffhanger in Mission Deep Light. As the team entered the underwater vault, inside was a floating chamber of lights and mirrors. The key rested at the center, held in a cocoon of ancient energy. But as the team reached for it, the shadows arrived, one by one. The lights went out. The final log from the mission broadcast a single warning. It's here. It found us. We're not alone anymore. Back on Eidolon, the galactic map flashed red. Kareth turned. Ma knows. Earth's moon lit up from its deepest crater. Light poured upward like a signal flare into space. Ancient machinery turned beneath the rock, quiet for 300,000 years. And at the center of it all, one girl stood alone. Juno Reyes, the final vault. Keitha Heart Koros from a hidden pedestal, glowing gold with blue veins of living energy. Above her, space cracked open. The Maw had arrived. It no longer sent scouts. No more whispers. It sent itself. A black living wave of analyte poured across the sky, stretching across solar systems like an infection of the void. Juno and the final connection, the vault. Key wasn't just a device. It was a lock to Juno's DNA, a final piece of the puzzle only a first-line descendant could activate. As she reached for it, flashes of memory struck her mind. A battle 300,000 years ago. A ring of stars detonated to hold the Maw at bay. And the first ones, humanity's founders, sealing their own memories into unborn bloodlines. "We are the spark that sleeps," the key whispered. "You are the hand that wakes us." Juno touched the key. It pulsed once and vanished. But in its place, a new voice spoke from within her. "Command link. Established. Celestial engine. Online. Eidolon Prime awakens fully on." Eidolon, the surface split apart. From its core, a machine the size of a moon rose, glowing brighter than any star in the system. Towering spires rotated. Energy fields circled planets. The celestial engine had awoken not as a weapon, but as a will. And it listened to Juno. "Give the command," Kareth said. "End this, or save them." Juno looked to the Voidware. The Maw now devoured comets, moons, and fleets without pause. "We weren't made to destroy," she said quietly. "We were made to remember." Then she gave the order, "Engage, memory protocol." The final stand-ins, instead of firing beams or launching weapons. The celestial engine did something stranger. It pulsed a wave of pure thought, a memory of humanity at its peaks. Pred. Across the stars, cities of light, unity among worlds, kindness between species. The beauty of life before fear, the Maw shrieked. It recoiled from the memory. From the echo of harmony, because the Maw did not feed on bodies. It fed on despair, its chaos, and forgotten purpose. And now, humanity had remembered. The galaxy unites alien fleets that once feared. Earth now rallied. The Athari spiral opened ancient vaults of their own and joined the defense. The Valari laid down arms, praying beside humans. Even the Krellans, broken and proud, sent their last dreadnought to stand guard above Earth. For the first time in galactic history, every species fought together not under fear, but under hope. The Maw is driven back, the celestial engine pulsed again. This time, it wasn't memory, it was will, the combined presence of billions of minds across thousands of worlds. Pouring light into the dark, and the Maw screamed. It began to shrink, twist, collapse inward. Not because it was defeated, but because it could no longer feed. The gate it came through, now sealed. The last echo of the Maw whispered into the minds of all. "You were never supposed to return, ... But then it was gone, the first ones. Rise again, Juno collapsed. Not dead, but changed. Her eyes glowed faintly. Her heartbeat matched the rhythm of Eidolon's core. She was no longer just human. She was the new voice of the first ones, chosen by memory, by blood, by purpose. 1 year later, Earth orbit the galaxy rebuilt, Eidolon remained active, but quiet. It now served as a beacon of knowledge, not war. Humans became ambassadors, protectors, teachers, no longer forgotten, no longer underestimated. A new galactic accord was signed this time above Earth, and the first line read, "Let all remember, humanity was not the last to arrive. We were the first to rise, and now we rise again."